the draft that you circulated to your colleagues, a draft article of impeachment here centering on obstruction of justice, and you acknowledged when you did that in a letter to your colleagues, in fact, that these are early days. You encouraged them to work quickly. You think the bar has been met for obstruction of justice. I wonder what your conversations have been like with your colleagues on Capitol Hill about the prospects for going forward with this.
Well, you know, just a day and a half after I did that, Steve Scalise was shot, and that radically changed the atmosphere among us. It's had a big impact on the country, but and just to say, for example, Sandy Hook did, but the impact here in Congress is the impact Sandy Hook had on the Sandy Hook community. That's my way of explaining just how big that event was. And so we are trying to focus on issues that can bring Democrats and Republicans together. That being said, I do think that when you look at Section 1512b3 of Title 18, and you look at the definition of obstruction of justice, and there are several definitions, several different crimes that are identified as obstruction of justice, and you apply that to the testimony of Comey, you reach the conclusion that while future investigations may give you more evidence or more causes, that the evidentiary bar has been met with regard to obstruction of justice. That being the case, this is a very slow and long process, and I know that if the president wants to avoid the calls for impeachment growing in the future, the key would be to provide competent government. It is just this dropping high levels of incompetency, of misinformation that would drive this forward. So I don't think the president is worried about Brad Sherman, but if we don't get some care in the White House, there'll be a lot more Brad Shermans.